boys, welcome to your religion lesson for this week. We are going to be looking into Nudgee College social justice programs, and you'll also do some research on your own house charity today. We'll get started though. So you will have seen this faith star around the place at Nudgee, and of course we learnt about it in Term 1 religion. So everything that we do at Nudgee is encapsulated into that faith star: courage, excellence, authenticity, community, justice, and faith. So our faith life at Nudgee is more than just going and praying and going to Mass. It's so much more than that. One of the most important aspects of the way we live out our faith is in our social justice programs. So let's look into some of those. Now, our social justice at Nudgee, the point of having social justice programs is to encourage you all to develop that empathy and compassion for the less fortunate. And we want to break down stereotypes and develop a genuine desire to encourage a better world for all through these programs. So we're going to have a look at what we can actually do to help others. And I think a really important thing that we need to remember is that these aren't just a transaction. It's not just us going and doing something and then forgetting about it. We actually want to develop connections with people who really need us, who need someone to listen to them and someone to talk to. It's more than just going and feeding them and that type of thing. So one of our first fundraisers of the year is Project Compassion. So this is where we raise money for the Charities Australia's annual humanitarian fundraiser, their appeal. So this money that is raised, it helps fight poverty and injustice around the world. Now, usually we have a Lenten fair in the junior school and we get to have all these games and people pay 50 cents or $1 to play these games, and that money goes to Project Compassion. Sadly, we haven't been able to have it for the last 2 years because of COVID, but hopefully next year we'll see how we go. All right, so our next one, and you guys were all a part of this year, the Walk for Edmund. So that's from students from grade 5 to 11. We raise money for the Edmund Rice Foundation, and that supports the work of the Christian Brothers who are around the world to support people who are living below the poverty line, who are living on the margins and just really struggling in life. And so we ask people from our friends, our family, the wider community to donate money for us to walk that 7 kilometres. And that picture there is of Will and Griffin. So each house at Nudgee has a house charity that they support and try to raise money for every year. So usually there'll be some initiatives such as a trivia night, or there might be a world's greatest shave for one of the houses. There are various initiatives that houses will do to create money for their house charity. And you're going to delve into that after this. Now, another program is the Year 7 Scrabble and Chat. So that's obviously not happening at the moment due to COVID. However, when it is on, we send 4 boys out to a nursing home at Banyo. So you'll go in a teacher's car and you go out there just for 1 hour, and the elderly love playing Scrabble with you guys and just chatting about life. And I think it's really wonderful when we can talk to people who have had so much life experience and they can tell us stories, and there's so much that we can learn from them, and they can learn from you guys as well and what you're getting up to. And so that's a really fun social justice program. So another social justice program that we have is the sandwich making, and so we go out to Spring Hill pretty early in the morning. We leave school at 5:30 and go to the Ecumenical Coffee Brigade, and we make boxes and boxes of sandwiches. So the loaves of bread and all of the fillings that would go on the sandwiches are donated to the Ecumenical Coffee Brigade, and we have a little bit of a lineup going on, and we make as many sandwiches as we can in about an hour. Okay, and those boxes are then taken out and given to the homeless. So our Year 10 immersion program generally takes place either at the start of July, the start of Term 3, or the end of Term 3, depending on the year. So all Year 10 students participate in one of the programs that are offered. And these programs are obviously offered to help the less fortunate than ourselves, but also to stand in solidarity with our earth. So we were given this earth and we are here to manage it, and we need to be stewards of our earth. So these programs that we have for Year 10 Immersion can be day-based. So some of the day-based ones are disability awareness, where a group of students goes out and learns a lot and hangs out with some people who have a disability. Or it could be behind the wire, where there's refugees that they are working with who have come from really sad, they've told stories of their sad circumstances, but now they're living here and they're able to kind of rebuild their lives. Some other ones we have are the Starlight Foundation, so really ill children kind of getting some final wishes. Of course, there are ones where we go overseas, not so much at the moment due to COVID, but there has been in the past. We've gone to the Philippines, we've been to Cambodia, more recently we've been to Papua New Guinea. And we have one where we just go over to Morton Island, and that's about sustainability. So that's standing in solidarity with our planet, and we do things like clean up and we plant trees and we try to pull out weeds and that type of thing over there. And another one we actually have on campus, which you may hear about, is called Slum Survivor. And that's one where we basically live in a made-up slum down at the golf course. And so we have all these giant cardboard boxes, and we essentially reenact what it would be like to live in a slum, for example, in India. And we are sleeping in a cardboard box for 3 nights, and we're not eating very much food, and we're doing a lot of hard labor. So we're kind of reenacting what it would truly be like. So I think that makes us realize just how lucky we are in life. Now, another program that we have weekly is the Big Brekkie program. So at 5:50 in the morning, we pack up the van with food, we via St. Rita's, and we pick up a few of the St. Rita's students, and we go into the valley. And just opposite the fire station there is where we set up, and we cook breakfast for the homeless and the people who turn up and want to have a chat. And for some of them, it's the only conversation that they're going to have during the day. So it's really nice for us to be able to listen to them and, just have a really nice chat and make them feel heard. Big Barbie is very similar to Big Brekkie, however, it's in the afternoon, and we go out to the Aspley Rotary Park, and students and teachers cook a barbecue. We spend some time with people from the caravan park that's nearby, and again, just lots of conversation and kind of building that connection with people. Now, another one we have is Year 7 to 12 NC's Sustainability. And of course, we have one in Year 5 and 6, which is the Junior Sustainability program. And this is about everything environmental that we can do at school. So whether it be emptying our paper waste bins, planting trees on some afternoons, or removing rubbish from certain areas, that's a way in which we do our very best for our planet. Okay, and we be stewards of our earth. Everything I've just talked about is part of our social justice programs and part of our social justice league. So grade 5 to 12 can participate in other little initiatives that we have throughout the year. And the point of these initiatives is for us to develop a deeper empathy and understanding, as well as breaking down any stereotypes or any prejudices that we may unconsciously have. We can do this by fundraising, cooking food, chatting with the homeless, and really importantly, raising awareness for human rights. Raising awareness hopefully gives a voice to the voiceless by us trying to help them. So one of the ways in which we do this is we have Stella Fella Day. Generally it takes place in term 3, and that's where we sell bow ties, and all of the money raised from wearing those, buying those and wearing those instead of our school tie, all the money goes to helping people who have perhaps been unfortunately human trafficked. Now, there's a lot to do with human trafficking. However, some of human trafficking includes people who are trafficked for their organs, or perhaps children who are forced into marriage. Generally, this is young girls. And another one is people who are sold for labor. Okay, so it's really important that we try to be that voice for them and raise money and awareness for them. Now, ultimately, by being able to participate in these incredible programs and you're just being a Nudgee boy, we want you to be a Signum Fidei, a sign of faith. So all of what I've just talked about is really important, but the most important thing is that we look after one another, and we all have a responsibility to stand up against bullying and prejudice, and to include those who are left out, and to look for ways to brighten other people's day, because it costs you nothing to brighten someone else's day. And it makes you feel good and it makes the other person feel good. Okay, so this is what you need to do today. This is today's task. You will have a copy of this in your drive, and you need to go to your copy. I'm just going to fix this because I've made the screen a little bit smaller. Okay, so you are going to open up this doc in your drive, and it is called RE5, T3, Week 4, W4, Social Justice at Nudgee and House Charities. So you are going to answer these questions. So where you can, please use sentence types. Of course, you've learnt those in English, so really try to use them as much as possible. So question 1 is, why do we have social justice programs at Nudgee? Please name 2 that interest you the most and explain why they do. What are some of the qualities people have who participate and contribute to these social justice programs? So think about our lessons so far this term and the kind of traits that people have. And if you could create a social justice program, what would it be and why is that particular cause important to you? Now, once you've answered those about our current Nudgee programs, our social justice programs, I want you to delve a little bit deeper into your house charity. Now, you might not necessarily know your house charity or have heard much about it, so that's why I want you to know more. So we're going to discover more about it, and you will fill in the table that's on the second page, but just find your house here. All of the house charities are listed, and there's the website there for you as well. Okay. Now, of course, you might like to consider what we studied in week 2, and that was about fairness, speaking with respect, compassion, seeking peace, tolerance, sincerity, and caring for the poor. So think about that whilst you look over these websites. Now, you need to type in your house name there. So if you're in McKenna, I am in McKenna House. And then you need to type in what the charity that they support is. Now, what does that charity actually do? And what kind of services do they offer people? What are some of the big fundraisers that they may do during the year? Why is this charity important in our world? Why do we need it? Now, find a picture that represents your charity, whether it's a logo or maybe some people doing something. And tell me who your house dean is. Okay, hopefully you would know who they are by now. I'm sure you do. Anyway, that's what you need to get done today, guys. So good luck.